Hey everyone, my name is Wedge, and today we got to see the rest of Guilds of Ravnica. That's right, the entire set has been spoiled, which means you're about to see more preview coverage than you can shake a Selesnyan stick at. We're going to cover more individual spoilers, and then get ready for our Best of the Rest series. Alright, without further ado, let's jump right in and talk about some nonsense. Do hope you enjoy the video, and if you do, remember to hit that like button, it helps out a lot. Chamber Sentry is X for a 0/0 artifact creature construct and enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. You can pay X, tap it, and remove X +1/+1 counters from it, and it deals X damage to any target. You can also pay 1 mana of every color and return it from your graveyard to your hand. This has Sunburst. Chamber Sentry has Sunburst. Anyone remember Sunburst? 5th Dawn? No? This is a 5th Dawn card that got thrown under a desk or something until just now because that has Sunburst. Anyways, the card is moderately strong but very clunky. You need to spend a bunch of mana to get it onto the battlefield with enough counters to be worth it. Then pay more mana, make it weaker, and tap it to deal damage to something. The ability to bring it back is quite nice, but this is yet another card meant for a commander. There's no way to pull this off anywhere else without it being way too much of an investment. Maybe limited, but still, it's clunky as heck. Gatekeeper Gargoyle is 6 mana for a 3/3 gargoyle with flying. It enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each gate you control. Wow, this thing is going to get huge really quickly in that awesome gate deck I'm definitely going to build. 6 mana for a 3/3 with flying is certainly nothing to write home about, but even if you have just 2 gates, that's a 5/5 flyer. Tough to beat that in the air. And with gates running around limited, the gargoyle has potential. I like the design here. Dawn of Hope is 2 mana for an enchantment. Whenever you gain life, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. You can also pay 4 mana to create a 1/1 white soldier token with lifelink. Looks like another amazing life gain trigger for Oloro, or really any of the awesome commanders that like doing that. Thinking Karlov, Eiley, Kambal, Obsidian, Ghost Council, you get where I'm coming from. Dawn of Hope is absolutely made for a commander, and there it will shine. Being able to make soldiers with lifelink is a great mana sink to help enable for card drawing. It's perfect. This card is a self-contained card draw machine, and that is awesome, especially in white. Also, look at that artwork. My goodness. Drowned Secrets is 2 mana for an enchantment. Whenever you cast a blue spell, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. Okay, I'll be the first one to say that Dimir not being full of mill makes me really happy. It's overdone, and Wizard spends way too much time fitting mill into blue-black. This time around, they barely have any mill, but the mill they do have, it's good. Drowned Secrets is really interesting because it isn't necessarily meant to be a win condition. Think about it. You can use this with Undergrowth, Surveil, and Jumpstart. Drowned Secrets, at least on the surface, might look like your typical mill enchantment, but in this particular set, with these particular mechanics, it's so much more than that. It's a cool enchantment, and if it sees play, I really want it to be in something that breaks Undergrowth or Jumpstart. I want that so badly. Plaguecrafter is 3 mana for a 3/2 human shaman. When it enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. Each player who can't discards a card. Okay, Plaguecrafter is like a buffed up Fleshbag Marauder, and that says a lot considering Fleshbag Marauder is a commander staple. This is a great card. Not only is it a bit bigger than Marauder as a 3/2 instead of a 3/1, but it hits planeswalkers in addition to creatures, and you still hurt opponents who have no creatures at all by forcing them to discard. It isn't technically strictly better than Fleshbag, but it basically is. Plaguecrafter is your new commander staple until the end of time. This uncommon might be overlooked, but it shouldn't. This is a fantastic card. Bounty of Might is 4 of anything and 2 green for an instant. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Well, this is pretty straightforward. It sort of looks like target creature might get +3/+3 until end of turn, but 3 different times. Figure that out. Anywho, thank goodness this is an instant. Bounty of Might is going to be a win condition in a ton of green limited decks. We've spoken before about the power of combat tricks, but this card, this is 3 combat tricks in 1 card. This turns the tide of battle in your favor, and it isn't like we're talking about +1/+1 buffs here. We're talking about 3 giant growths. +3/+3 turns a weak creature into a strong one. It makes your little dudes win battles they have no business winning. This is a game-making combat trick in limited. Even if you have just 1 creature, +9/+9 seems pretty okay, just saying. Card swole as heck. Pelt Collector is 1 green mana for a 1/1 elf warrior. Whenever another creature you control enters the battlefield or dies, if that creature's power is greater than Pelt Collector's, put a +1/+1 counter on the collector. As long as it has 3 or more +1/+1 counters on it, it has trample. What? Pelt Collector's insane, dumb, stupid pants. This card is like Experiment 1 but on steroids. Over the first few turns of the game, this will be a 3/3 or a 4/4, then with trample. You're playing this in a creature-based green deck, so it'll just keep growing and growing for the low investment cost of 1 green mana. Fast, efficient, powerful. Pelt Collector came to play. Seriously, you get this trigger whenever another creature you control enters the battlefield or dies. Both times. So good. Ugh. Okay, we need to move on, but just wow. Camaraderie is 4 of anything, 1 green and 1 white for a sorcery. You gain X life and draw X cards, where X is the number of creatures you control. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Alright, I am back and forth on this card so much. Positives. It gives card draw to white and green, and you gain a bunch of life, and you get an anthem for the creatures that just helps you gain life and draw cards. Downside, you need creatures for this to be good. Not only do you need creatures, but you need enough creatures. Not only do you need enough creatures, but you have to be able to spend 6 mana at sorcery speed to do this. You see where I'm going? Camaraderie is an interesting card, but wow, is it narrow as anything. I know Selesnya are all about massing forces, but things go wrong all the time in games. If you top deck this without any creatures on the battlefield, it's literally dead weight. I think it'll perform really well in limited, where board stalls are more common than not. But again, only if you're either winning or tied. If you're losing the game, this card probably won't help you, which kind of sucks. And boom, that draws us to the end of the individual preview season for Guilds of Ravnica. Over the next few days, we're going to show you the best of the rest of the set that wasn't spoiled individually. We'll talk limited a lot as we prepare ourselves for the upcoming pre-release next week. So be sure to stay tuned to the channel for all of the Guilds of Ravnica information you could ever need. Now, what do you think about today's cards, the last batch of standouts? Personally, I'm pretty high on Pelt Collector. This card is crazy, ridiculous nonsense. Can't wait to see it in Standard. Be sure to let me know what you think in the comments, as well as any videos you'd like to see in the future. I gotta know. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. This video is brought to you in part by TCGplayer.com. Guilds of Ravnica is going to release pretty dang soon, so why aren't you ready yet? Get your boxes pre-ordered on TCG Player for only $91 each. That's it, it's so cheap, it's the cheapest around. They'll be delivered right to your door on release. So simple. If you don't have a local game store or yours charges way too much, I got your back. Just click the link on the screen. Helps the channel. We all win. Enjoy. All right, come on, no mistakes, no mistakes, no mistakes.